My name's Brett Middlesworth. We're from Marion, Indiana. We raise corn, soybeans, and tomatoes, and we process our tomatoes for red gold.
My name's Shane Middlesworth. I'm from Marion, Indiana, Grant County.
My name is Max Middlesworth. We started farming here. I think my mom and dad moved on this farm about 1945 when they were married, and they were sharecropping back then. So as the next generation comes on, we give them more responsibility. The machinery gets bigger, and just like all the electronic equipment, the GPS, of course, if you know your mom and dad and the iPhone, they're so much better at running the GPS equipment, and so pretty soon they're telling us how to run it.
We all have our own specialty we like to do, or niche. My niche is planting tomatoes. I also take care of the combine harvest of the corn and soybeans. My cousin Brett, he takes care of tomato harvest, and he also takes care of corn planting and corn and bean spraying. My dad Brian takes care of planting the beans, and he's also the accountant for the farm. And my Uncle Danny, he assists us in whatever we do as far as trucking and field cultivating and tomato cultivating.
We raise between 270 to 300 acres of tomatoes, depending on what we're needing to do for the year for red gold. Around May 1st, we try to get started planting. We transplant tomatoes, which come in a tray.
We have a mechanical setter. They sit on a seat, and there's a wheel that goes around, and then there's a tray, and they'll take one plant and put in these cups, and then it'll go around and drop them in the ground, and there's closing wheels that put the dirt around the plant to plant it.
And after that, we just care for the crop, do our normal maintenance for our, fertilize it, and then we'll generally start harvesting around August the 9th through the 15th, and we will process through probably the 12th or 13th of October, and we'll pick every day. So we will go through and pick up the whole plant, and it goes through and it'll shake off the whole plant, drop the tomatoes, it'll discharge the vines out the back. Then it'll go through, and we have 2 electronic sorters on there, and it will see and differentiate between green, if we pick up any green tomatoes, any dirt, and it will look at the tomato and decide what it likes the best. We can change those specifications, but most of the time we're looking for a whole red tomato. If it's green, it'll kick it out on the ground, and if it's red, it'll let it go through. Once we get them in the truck, Red Gold will have them unloaded in less than 24 hours. Once they get unloaded, they're probably in the can in the next 20 minutes. On our rotation, we do about every 5 years for tomatoes, so we'll do corn beans, and then back to tomatoes on ground that we rotate into tomatoes.
At one time, almost everybody raised everything: oats, wheat, hay, and of course we had some cattle, and we had some cows, and we had some pigs.
It's very important for the next generation to know that their food doesn't come from the grocery store. It comes from us family farms.
I think the family farm, if we can keep it going, we'll be better off. I don't think someday you want somebody to tell you what you're going to pay for food, and it's going to be astronomically high, and you're going to be working for food. In the United States, if you kind of boil it down, we have a lot of luxuries because we spend less for food than any other country. And then that gives you money left over to buy your toys and have fun. So the first thing you lose is your toys, and the next thing you might find out you're just working for food. And that would be going back 100 years, and that's not going to be a lot of fun. So the family farm is really important to keep going and keep viable.
I became a Farm Bureau member just because they do a really good job of making sure that if we need help on the farm, they're more than willing to help us out. If you need something like a permit of some sort, that's, they're going to be able to talk to your state legislators or whatever you need to make sure that they're helping us out to make sure that we can do what we need to do and be productive.
I'm Max Middlesworth.
I am Brett Middlesworth.
I'm Shane Middlesworth, and I found my voice with Indiana Farm Bureau.
Farm Bureau.
With Farm Bureau.